I've got a car in the Philippines that's getting built at the moment. It's a KP62 two-door Toyota Starlet. That's very cool, rear-wheel drive. That's all getting restored by my friend Bong. So as soon as that's finished, we might bring that over to Spain. It's a very simple process.
Yeah.
We got our website and there is a button on there right at the top, which is basically to fill in your application. And quite literally you upload a few photos of your car and then you fill in a description of all the modifications.
Muy buenas chavales, bueno, hoy tenemos un capitulazo especial. Ha venido una persona desde muy lejos con un coche muy pequeño y él es muy grande y quiero que conozcáis la historia que os vamos a explicar hoy, una historia que hace tiempo que estamos detrás persiguiendo y que ha pues coincidido en la que pues han traído el coche hasta aquí, nos hemos sentado, hemos entrevistado. Bueno, lo vamos a hacer, de hecho, y vais a conocer uno de nuestros proyectos que creo que os pueden interesar a todos los amantes del motor y que espero firmemente que vengáis. Así que, sin más dilación, os presento a Isaac y a su Mazda, que han venido, pues eso, hasta aquí, con el volante al otro lado. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. Yourself?
Perfect. I'm really happy to have you here. We want to know exactly which is your car and all the modifications that you explain your story and what are you going to do here in Spain.
No worries.
That will be really nice. So, la primera pregunta que le vamos a hacer es ¿quién es y sobre todo pues qué coche tiene? ¿Y qué van a hacer aquí en España? Who are you and which is your car?
So, my name is Isaac and this is my Mark 1 Mazda MX-5 or Miata, depending on what part of the world you're listening from.
Yeah.
And I've had it for about a year and a half.
Oh.
And myself and my friend have been restoring it in the evenings, just when we have a moment as such. And it is fully modified as such or restored, minus the engine. The engine is stock, so you don't want to open up the engine bay anytime soon. But yeah, we actually manufacture alloy wheels, one of my other businesses.
Okay.
And it's fully restored underneath, all powder coated, so it's very clean. And it's on air mixed air suspension. And the wheels are the Frank's Racing wheels, the Mark 1s. And it's got a KBD body kit on there, which is fantastic if you drive low or if you are just worried about smashing your fiberglass bumpers and that sort of thing, purely because
we sell these kits and
perfect.
People is like, and do you buy it from yourself or the car? So do you have the box of the kit? Where the kit is totally like...
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It arrives and it's like, I don't know, that big or so.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no way, and you get it out and you leave it in the sun. The thing is in the UK, it's freezing.
Yeah.
So they're like, leave it in the sun and you're like, what sun?
What sun? You have to put it inside the house with the water.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah. So it took a little while for it to expand out, but yes, fantastic kit. They're a bit of a pain to paint.
Yeah.
But overall, it's well worth the money, 100%, 100%.
No, it's one of the best thoughts that I want to make a kit that it doesn't break. What?
Yeah.
When I listen the first time, it's like, what? And
Yeah.
I see the car going, it's like, this is crazy. How is this going? This is
It's
not
mad.
possible. And then we get one and it's like, yeah, we make the same test, we put in the floor, and with one of the big trucks there, like, I go like, boom, inside the kit, and it's like, oh, it's not working. So it's tested
fantastic.
and proven. The kit is working good. So, Isaac, how do you get inside the world cars? Which are your starts on all this?
So in terms of, I guess my story as such is, I grew up interested in cars. I was interested in planes first, actually.
Really?
I don't know why, I just was. I don't know where that came from. No one's a pilot in my family or anything.
Okay.
And I think cars are just a little bit more easier to get into. So that was when I was...
cheapest at least.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's when I was a child. And I was actually gonna be going into music production, a DJ. That's my second passion. but it turns out it's quite difficult to sort of pursue that as a career. But every single second of extra time that I had was always spent on working on a project car, even if it was never finished, which was most of the project cars, it seems like, earlier in the days. But so I love to use my hands. It's one of those things, just getting covered in grease, getting down, making things, creating things. It's fantastic to do, and it's something which I think everyone has their passion. And for me, passion of creation and making something yours, whether it be a crazy color, something which people it's like you're driving way too low, or but it's yours. It's how you want it to be. So for me, my dad was into cars. He had a Datsun 240Z. He showed me and I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. Turns out they're very expensive now, so it's the kind of thing which you got to save up some money for that sort of thing these days. But it's just something that I love.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you
can't
grow
really
with
explain
it.
things.
Yeah, it's like if you sing, you're like, oh, cars, oh, my dad with cars, oh, cars, and finally.
Yeah. And if I'm on holiday for a long time or away, doing business, for a few weeks, it's the kind of thing you look forward to, that time when you can just, switch off to the world and just, make some stuff, fix things and that sort of thing. So that's I guess where my passion is really, and sort of how it started. And then that turned into a business.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So in the business, you are like building wheels, you said?
Yeah, so we started off as a alloy wheel refurbishment business, and this is something which is built our brand as such. It's where our brand got known throughout the UK, and we got a fantastic reputation, but that's purely down to the amount of time and effort that we spend in making sure that the work done is as best as possible. But one thing which we found over COVID was that people are unable to bring their wheels in for refurbishment because they're locked at home. And we thought, okay, we need to think of something which allows people to spend their money in different ways other than just having their old wheels refurbished. And we thought, let's see what Rotiform have done. And it turned out Rotiform started off in refurbishment 10, 12 years ago. I'm not entirely sure of the full story. And we thought, well, actually, let's go into manufacturing, see what we can do. And now, over the last year and a half, we purely focus on the manufacturing of single piece, two piece and three piece wheels. So that's all we do now. We don't do refurbishment anymore. So if you don't know that, I'm sorry. But it's something which we sell parts for also. So if you've got a set of BBS wheels or work VSKF, popular wheel at the moment, we sell the outer lips for those as well. So if you smash them up when you're drifting, we can just send out some new ones to you.
Wow, okay.
And we're always expanding our stock. So at the moment, admittedly, we do sell out pretty much every single time the new stock comes in, which is great. But it's something which we're going to be, we're always trying to get more and more. And hopefully one day we won't sell out as quick. So there's always stock there. So, but that's something which I'm hugely passionate about. I mean, we only sell products which we would use ourselves.
Wow.
We don't sell anything which we think is a load of rubbish.
How is the feeling that you build something and people come and say, I want that?
Yeah. It's cool. It's really cool, especially when you design a wheel. I mean, certain designs that we sell are replicas of older wheels that are potentially cast and not produced anymore. But all of our wheels are forged, so they're very strong and very lightweight. But in terms of the wheels that you design yourself and then someone says, that's the coolest thing ever, it's great. Yeah, it's great because it's something which not only you've made, but it's something that you've created that didn't exist before. Yeah. And that design is out there. I mean, that's something that I drew up about 3 years ago and thought, actually, let's just make him when we got the facilities to be able to do that. So
you have all the machines, computers, like to drill, to...
Yeah. Exactly that. It's a fancy old setup, but in terms of the entire process, all of our products are tested to a level that means that they are fully usable on the road. We don't supply TUV approved product at the moment. it's just very expensive to do that, and it's something which we may explore in the future, perhaps. But at the moment, it's all VIA JWL approved product, and it just means that if you get a custom set of wheels made, you know that it's fully suitable for thrashing them around and doing some burnouts.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, which is your history? Which is your first car?
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of knowing the car history of Isaac. How do you start with the cars?
So, first car, I think I was 16 or 17. My dad, as like whether it was a little business thing he wanted to mess around with, I can't remember. It's a horrific car in my opinion, but he bought it was a Fiat Brava or Bravo, I can't remember. And it had I think the camshaft needed to be replaced or something, I can't fully remember. And he was like, what we're gonna do is we're going to fix this and then we're gonna sell it and make some money. And I think we made like a couple of £100. But that I guess was officially the first car. But my first car that I kind of wanted, and was my first car that I drove on the road with was a 1994 Suzuki Swift, 1 litre. Wow. It was the slowest thing ever. It had a fuel filter problem, so which we didn't realize. So it was just so slow, and but you know, whatever. That was good fun. And then from there, over the course of a few years, I purchased a 1982 Toyota Celica ST 2 litre. There's only about 2 of those in the UK. That was fantastic. That was a cool car. 2-door, notchback, looked sick, but I didn't understand how to modify a car tastefully. You know, this was probably 2012, 2013. So it was only forums. Instagram wasn't really about. There's like one guy in the US who'd modified one. I didn't know what to do.
And he's the
Yeah, it was like, that's the guy. So that I think I had for 6-12 months or something, sold that. I had after that 2 1985 EA Honda Civics, which are pretty rare in the UK. Those were cool. One was too rusty, so I think I scrapped that from memory. Built one up, sold that. Again, probably the worst restoration ever, but I was sort of learning how things go. And then yeah, from there, bought the first car which I finished well, to my standard, was a 1972 Vauxhall Viva, which I think is an Opel, potentially in Spain. And that was a 2-door, standard engine. I think it had like 40 horsepower or something, but on the ground, cut springs, custom trailing arms and stuff. And that was built for myself and my missus' wedding. So that was our wedding car. Wow. And I think it broke down on the way back. So really? It was definitely something hideous about it. But yeah, sold that on. I haven't seen that since, so I don't know where that went. And then that was at the same time I started the business. So there was a long period of time where I had no money to put into anything, and purely my business. And then from there, now I've got some money I can spend on some cool stuff. So
how many years do you have been in your business or start?
That is the finished one. So that is, we'll do the engine at some point. We're going to do it. We're going to turbo that, do a turbo 1.8 build.
It's which engine does it have, the car?
It is just the 1.8.
Yeah.
And we're going to turbo that at some point. So that should be pretty cool. And we got a E36 coupe, which is all being sorted at the moment. And there is something else, but I've completely forgotten. I've also got it's being worked on in another country. I've got a car in the Philippines that's getting built at the moment. It's a KP62 2-door Toyota Starlet. That's very cool, rear wheel drive. That's all getting restored by my friend Bong. So as soon as that's finished, we might bring that over to Spain. We'll see.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Good history of cars.
Yeah, cheers.
And once, the thing is that you are organizing a really cool event here in Spain.
Yeah.
But you have another really, really big event in UK. So can you explain us a little bit which is the point of you said, I want to have one of the best events in UK. So which is the mind you said, I want to start doing this, blah, blah, blah. 1 second, ¿cuánto tiempo llevamos? Sepáralos. Ah, vale, de puta madre. So how do you start with the events, you know, and organizing them?
So about 2 years ago, we had a customer and I got chatting with him and I clicked well with him. And that customer is now my business partner. And we were chatting about the need in Europe for in the UK to begin with, a California vibe show. Because we used to watch all these videos that these YouTubers would put out in the US and it just looks like something else. And I was like, there's nowhere in the UK that would be like this. We did have a look around and we saw there's a few nice beaches and stuff, but it's raining all the time. Half the time that's why a lot of the stuff is indoors in the UK. And we thought, let's aim high. Let's have a look in Barcelona. Something we both love Barcelona. And that was kind of the first city that clicked in our heads as somewhere which has a similar vibe to like LA and this sort of thing. And everyone knows Barcelona. So we thought, let's fly over, have a look around. And we had a brief look around. We then drove over in his E46 M3, which is slammed on the ground, coilovers. And we thought, okay, let's see the response that this car gets here. Let's see if it's possible to drive throughout the city in a very low car. And let's see if we can find a venue. Like that's the main thing. We haven't got a venue. We don't know where to go to see if it's even possible. And we drove out through the west coast of France, Andorra, got a load of footage, and we were like, we need to really give this a shot. Neither of us know Spanish, so it seems insane. And we were just like, let's see if we can build a team that would allow us to essentially go for our first show. So what we wanted to do was quite literally the go big or go home kind of thing. So it's one of those.
That's my style.
Yeah. It's one of those things that we know for a fact we could do a very small show. I mean, that's easy. You put an ad out on Facebook or Instagram and you rally up a few people. But we thought for the way that things are going, let's just, especially after COVID, seeming as everyone's had a very boring 2 years of no car shows in the UK anyway, let's do something big. And this was about 1.5 years ago. We thought, now that we found the venue, let's send it, let's build up a team, make contacts. We've got a long enough period of time to start networking and getting the Drip brand out there.
It's new brand?
It's a brand new brand, quite literally. It's something which is this event in July will be the first event.
Because the one that you are doing in UK has a different name?
We're not actually doing an event in the UK. So this is going to be the first event.
I understood that there is maybe there is a big event in UK, but it's not yours.
Potentially. Okay. So we've got a few contacts who in the UK who are friends of ours who run big shows.
Okay.
And it's a combination of not wanting to an extent, be in direct competition.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things of they're doing such a fantastic job at the moment. There'd be no need. It would just be another version of that. So we thought, actually, let's see if we can bring something which has that Wörthersee style where it's driving from all over Europe and people from everywhere coming to one place to celebrate car culture with videos, creating content, this sort of thing, and just partying together instead of just a car show where you turn up, cars parked, and then at the end of the day you go home. We wanted to bring something much more like fun and a lifestyle as such.
Wow.
And Barcelona is that place.
And how do you, so you are in UK, you have the chatting with your business partner and you said, in Barcelona. So you got into the plane, you arrived here, you check it out, And why do you think that Barcelona is a good way or a good site, you know, to do the event?
So Barcelona, in my opinion anyhow, it represents a multicultural city where everyone's kind of just enjoying life. And it's one of those things that in the UK is very work orientated. It's something with the beauty that you get in Barcelona, where you got the seafront, you got the fantastic sort of promenade area, and you know, the party scene. Partied here many times, many drunk stories of which I regret from my younger days, and party times. And it's one of those things where the city itself represents exactly what we love.
Yeah.
The music, the art, the scenery, the beauty of everywhere. And we just thought, if there is a venue here, and we checked out a lot of venues, probably like 10
1 second. If there is a venue, okay.
So we checked out a lot of venues, about 10 venues in total. And the one which seemed to just fit the mold was Parkdale Forum, which is right on the seafront. And then we thought, this is perfect. At the end of the show, people can go off, get changed, we can all go out partying together. So, and Barcelona just is 100% the best decision that we've made for like the area where we're doing it.
This area, it's really nice. And I think that could combine perfectly of your idea to have cars and music and a little bit. So, Isaac, explain us a little bit more of detail. What is DRIP? And what are we going to see, to feel, to listen, you know, a little bit of the experience of the guys that want to bring the car and the guys that want to see the cars.
Definitely. So DRIP in itself, what you want to get out of your head is that it's just a car show. It's not a car show. It's something much more than that. And we would say it's a lifestyle brand. So the structure of the event is much more like a festival. So it's over the course of 3 days. And in terms of how the layout is on the Thursday night. So I believe it's around 6 p.m. onwards. At the W Hotel, we have our welcome function, where we have a select 5 to 6 cars out the front of the W. And those are just going to be some absolutely incredible cars. But that is a time where everyone, once they've arrived in Barcelona, can just meet, have a party, chat with each other. We can sort of go through things, meet each other. And that is really just to sort of decompress, relax after the long journey. From there, the following day is we have the cruising and meet sort of section. So probably after everyone's very hungover, it's the kind of thing probably about, I'd say, lunchtime onwards. It's selected routes and meeting points where there's going to be a photographer and videographer going with these cruises. And people can just go and explore Barcelona. People can go and explore the canyons. There's a Cañet de Mar, where we did some footage yesterday. It's just an opportunity on the Friday for everyone to go and explore all of these roads, get incredible footage. And then once all that's finished, people are free to go and kind of do what they want. On the Saturday, from midday into the evening is when the main car show is. So that's where it's going to be an opportunity for those who want to exhibit their car at the show. And we have some big YouTubers coming, and we have a fantastic YouTuber who also is hugely known in the car sort of filming industry, Crispy. And he's going to be videoing the entire thing. He's flying over from the US. We thought we need to get someone who is big time to do this, and someone who really understands more so exactly what we're trying to achieve. And we chatted with him, and he was like, "I get what you're trying to do. And really looking forward for him coming over, and he's going to create the after movie of the show." And I'm sure you know Tomorrowland. The amount of videos I've seen of those, I was like, "That's cool." And we thought we need to do something like this, and that video will represent exactly what the lifestyle is of the entire show. So overall, it's a big festival with cars, music, fashion companies, all this sort of thing. It's going to be pretty sick.
So there are also the possibility to people that is related to cars, like brands, to expose there, to to make his things there?
In terms of exhibiting at the show, there's a fair few businesses at the moment which are officially sponsoring the show, and they're going to be exhibiting their brands. We got a few from the UK who are coming over with some fantastic cars, which is great. And it is an opportunity. There's still a window to get in and bring your brand there as well, for these companies who are interested in this sort of thing. And in addition to that, it's something which we're not just focusing purely upon specifically car-related brands who sell necessarily parts as such. It's anything which is clearly a part of the car community. I mean, every single person that I know who's into cars is also into probably one or two other things that everyone else is, whether it be skating, BMXing, music, DJing, this sort of thing. So we're gonna have a few of those brands there also. And it's something which we really want the opportunity to be there for people to meet and connect with like-minded car enthusiasts, to show off their cars, and in a fantastic place where we're all going to need to wear plenty of sunscreen, especially me. I'm very pale.
Well, cross the fingers. We have to cross the fingers.
But yeah, it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for a lot of people.
That's a good way to follow the dreams, no? That you have. So that you choose Spain, Barcelona. You move all the people from around Europe. So it seems like could be a really, really nice festival or at least a really good meeting, So in terms of public, what kind of people, brands, of whatever do you expect that come to the festival?
Yeah. So the festival is perfect if you just love car culture. If you live and breathe cars, whether it be stance cars, track cars, drift cars, anything like that, it's perfect if you love that. And in addition to that is we want it to be an opportunity for people who potentially are new to car culture or are young, they might be 17, 18 years old and looking forward to buying their first car and seeing what they can achieve in the future. We want it to be a really positive place that anyone can come to. They can feel like they can ask any question they want to an owner of the car. They can be inspired by the cars that are there, and they can really get a taster for what the possibilities of building a car can be. So in terms of the people that we're sort of expecting for this, it is going to be a lot of people who are, just downright live and breathe cars every day, building absolutely, beasts of machines of cars. But in addition, there's going to be a lot of people also who turn up on the day who are interested, they're curious, and they're thinking, this is really cool. And perhaps have, only just starting to learn to drive. Or perhaps are thinking, this is the day that they're actually, that spark begins. And it's something which I believe massively in the whole, being positive. This is no place for negativity. And it's something which is going to be inspiring people. We want to inspire the young people to, if they got questions, if they want to build something crazy, if someone sees this or someone sees someone else's car or whatever, they're thinking, that's cool. I have no idea, how does air suspension work? How do you build wheels? How do you fit tires like that onto the wheel as such? Any question. It's going to be a place where people are encouraged to ask those questions.
Okay. And you are explaining that a really cool thing. So it's not stance cars only.
It's not stance cars only. So in general, we've got a ton of applications, which we're still going through. And in terms of what my passion, kind of my number one passion lies with, is stance cars. But it is an opportunity for anyone. I mean, we've got a few absolutely incredible Land Rover Defenders that are coming over from the UK, which are they're fully custom, they're nice. And those are going to be there. We got some fully customized mopeds and this sort of thing turning up. But in general, it is an opportunity for anyone who is interested in any form of style of car modification to bring their car along.
Wow.
It doesn't even need to be a crazy high budget build. if it's done well and it looks good, you are welcome, especially if you're not entirely sure, apply and we'll let you know if it's going to be accepted or not. But
Wow.
it's honestly anything, if it's something which clearly the person has put a lot of time and effort in,
Wow.
and it's an opportunity for them to display their work. And we've got a lot of brands which are bringing some pretty crazy builds as well. So
Wow. So you can find like a super small Miata and then a really big 4x4.
Yeah, that
and
sort of
then
thing.
A drift car on a whatever.
yeah, exactly that.
That's
exactly
a good,
that.
That's a good point. And do you think that these cultures, these different cultures, could be in the same event? That will be nice.
In terms of, sorry,
In terms of people, you know, it's nice that you know, like, hey, I might have a drift car. I am not like really like surprised of Sten's cars, but maybe if I go there, it's like,
it's kind of cool sort of thing.
it's like I
Yeah,
love these cars. You have this spark, like
Yeah.
I want to have like blah blah. It could be really nice, you know, to have different cultures. What kind of brands are we going to see there, more or less?
So yeah, in terms of the specific brands, I can't go through the actual name of them as of yet, but in terms of what to expect is there's going to be car parts modification brands. So in terms of the actual, seat upholsters, this sort of thing, bodywork companies, wheel companies, this sort of thing. So it's anything that you will probably need to modify your car, these brands are going to be there.
Okay.
And in addition to that, there's going to be brands like, there's going to be a couple of skate brands there, and it's going to be a opportunity for a few fashion brands that sort of represent the car community style that predominantly, especially in the UK, that we're kind of all into. It's a big thing in the UK, the car fashion as such, like clothing in as well as cars.
And in terms of YouTubers, you said that we are going to have some cool guys there. Could you explain us a little bit?
Yeah, so the one I can mention, well, the two I can mention is we've got Night Ride, who were fantastic. Love watching their videos.
Yeah.
And we spoke to them, we said, hey, would you guys love to come? And they were fully down to it. So I believe they're bringing Kevin, which is their, it's like a Daihatsu. I can't remember fully off the top of my head, I'm probably gonna get slaughtered for that, but it looks cool as we built some wheels for them and we refurbished their previous wheels, and they're a fantastic group of lads. And they really represent what so many people, especially the younger guys and girls who are in the car community, what we're all about. And so Night Ride are going to be attending, so an opportunity to for a lot of people to meet them. And we've also got Crispy Media coming over from the US, and he's going to be shooting the entire thing for over the course of about 3-4 days worth of shooting. Wow. So there's going to be some pretty mad videos, and the after movie is going to be something which is going to blow people's minds. And that's something in terms of brands that any brand that is part of the show, they will be included in that after movie. So it's an opportunity to be seen by a lot of people.
Cool. Wow. And do you expect to have also YouTubers from Spain?
We do. It's something that we have so many DMs every day. It's hard to get back to all of them, but in terms of YouTubers from all over Europe, Spain included, we are expecting quite a few to come along. So we're really looking forward to meeting all of those people and building relationships with those people.
Nice. I am imagining a really big weekend in terms of a lot of media and cool things going around there. What is your opinion about how the car culture is going now? Do you think that we are like this, or do you think that now it's getting really high? What is your opinion?
It massively varies depending on what country you're in.
Yeah.
100%. It's been great since we've been in Spain to see at multiple shows, there's been a big growth from what we've seen anyway, and especially on social media in the Spanish car culture. In terms of the UK, being super honest, is that there was a period over the last couple of years where it seems to get very stagnant. A lot of people were copying each other. And I think there was a lot of pressure for people to build things that they weren't necessarily wanted to build themselves.
Yeah.
It was, I feel like I need to build this because, social media is telling me to. But recently, in the last year, we've seen some really unique builds coming out, which is fantastic. It's really great to see people expressing actually what they want to build. And the toxic aspect of the car community, which I'm going to say is there, is sadly, a very, very small minority of people who love to put other people.
Okay.
The very small minority of people who love to just spout negative stuff, only typing it, keyboard warrior, would never say it to your face sort of thing, that seems to be diminishing, which is great. And people are starting to be a lot more positive to people, encouraging people. And, sometimes people still get a bit upset if they see another car color the same as their car color, it's just like, it's not the end of the world. But I think the UK scene is definitely on the up now.
Yeah.
It got very similar for a while.
I have the same feeling here. We got like in 2008, more or less, 2005, 8, maybe 10, like a really big boom of tuning, like old Rococo tuning. But then all get down because of the laws, of the, the restrictions. But now, it started in 2019, then we have the 2 years stop, but the culture is like growing really fast. People want to do things.
Massively.
It's like, I don't give a shit about ETV, that it's like the one that here say you know, but
I've heard.
They are like, I want to do that, and I want to change the wheels, I want to make crazy things, put like, feel my passion.
Definitely. I think there's a lot of companies now which are looking to facilitate and help, especially in certain countries where it does seem hard to get parts. And it's fantastic to see you guys actually looking to really push that.
So as I think you are going to have a lot of applications or people that want to come, how is this process is going?
So yes, it's a very simple process.
Yeah.
We got our website and there is a button on there right at the top, which is basically to fill in your application. And quite literally you upload a few photos of your car and then you fill in a description of all the modifications. Sometimes, people's modification lists are like this, sometimes they're like that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that doesn't matter. It's just got to be something that you are clearly passionate about. I mean, we've had a few applications where people clearly aren't really too bothered. They're just sort of like hoping that they may get in because, but their car is absolutely battered, and it's like, come on. But 99% of the applications it's going to be hard to sort through them. There's some crazy builds out there and a lot of people traveling from all over Europe as well.
How many positions or do you have?
So we have only 300 exhibitor spots.
Wow.
So it's filtering down all the applications to 300, and it's a case of, it's not necessarily going to be the most expensive cars is going to be those three. It's not that. We've had multiple Lamborghinis, all that sort of thing apply, but it's going to be one of those things. If you have a Cressida or a crazy drift car, which you've built in your garage, that you've never shown anyone, but you want to apply, this is the opportunity, because it's something that we want people to display their time and effort and their build and show people their passion. This is a place for positivity. And if you've got a 458 Ferrari and you're an absolute douchebag and you've done nothing to it, get out of it. This is a place for someone who's put the time and effort into a crazy build, and it's going to be, this is the place for you.
I understand. And there is any date that you say no more applications, or?
So it's around about a month before the show where we're going to be closing applications. All of the updates are on social media, but I will stress, because we are accepting applications throughout the process, so people have enough advance sort of notice to book things, is if you have been accepted, to make sure that you follow the link, make sure read over the emails, and then purchase your exhibitor ticket. The one thing that we're doing differently compared to a lot of UK car shows anyway, is where a UK car show in general is you would pay for your ticket and then apply. And it seems like you're kind of forced to pay and this, that, and the other, whereas we're giving people the opportunity to apply and then purchase the ticket. But just make sure that you do purchase that ticket, because otherwise, if you don't purchase it within the time window, which is about 2 weeks, someone else will have that spot purely just because we have so many and we don't have time to wait.
Okay.
So this is for the people who are serious and seriously want to display their cars.
Okay, and there is on other opportunities to make like any parking side of the show, so you can bring the car there, or how is it works?
Yeah, so we have a limited space section for if you want to, for example, let's say you want to join the cruisers on the Friday, but you haven't been able to been accepted to the show, or you just didn't get to anything in time, there is an opportunity to purchase a ticket for parking at the show. That is very limited space, just because it's the size of the venue in terms of the amount of spaces taken up for that. We have a small section, which is if you want to book for that, which to be honest is probably going to have some pretty sweet cars in anyhow. And that is an opportunity for if you still want to drive to the show and you've driven a long way, that's perfect for you. But otherwise, you can purchase tickets and just walk to the show, public transport, that sort of thing.
Okay. Wow. And the most important thing that we don't talk about, when is this show?
When, yeah. 14th, 15th and 16th of July.
Okay.
All of the times are on the website, all of the tickets are on the website, but it's basically mid-July, so that's a Thursday, Friday and Saturday. And then on the Saturday night, there's a big party and it's going to be pretty nuts. Cool. So yeah, it's an opportunity to really make a holiday out of it.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing, it's not just you're going to be driving a long way for one day, it's you're going to be there and going to have a pretty mad time.
Yeah. So now I think that the show it's like pretty clear. So everyone that wants to come, fast, send the application, because if not, you will have problems, and pay it, the most important thing. If not, you are out. And what do you think about the difference? Now, explain us a little bit how is the culture in UK, because we are really used to in Spain, but it's like the first time that we have a foreign guy here seated. So explain us a little bit what happened in UK if police see you with this and these kind of problems.
So in the UK anyway, police kind of vary. Yeah. So I've been pulled over multiple times just for driving around in my cars over the years. Never had a ticket though for modifications of any thought. But for example, strictly speaking, stretched tires are illegal in the UK.
Oh, really?
This sort of thing. So you can't pass an MOT or like I don't know what it is in Spain, but like the yearly check that you have on the car.
The ITB.
So with like tire stretch, illegal, but most MOT testers are like, oh, go on then, that's fine. And in terms of the amount of modifications, in terms of all the amount of modifications you can do, there isn't really a limit on that. You can pretty much do whatever you want. There are occasionally you see stories of people who, in the newspaper, who like were pulled over, their dash is like hanging out, the wires are everywhere, they're sitting on a little like stool.
Yeah.
So that is fully illegal, you should probably go to prison for that kind of thing. But in terms of, as long as it's done safely and as long as it's clearly something which is not dangerous and strictly speaking allowed to pass an MOT, then you're fine.
But do you have to, for example here, if you modified any part, you should go to an engineer and write it down to the papers of the car, and we have to pay for this. How is there? You just modify the car, and if it's safe, you can drive it?
So yeah, you can modify it as much as you want. Insurance is the main thing you have to declare all your modifications.
Okay.
So to an extent, some are more stricter than the others. There's a few fantastic companies which you can just list them all off. if you've been driving for like a year or two and you modify your car, your insurance is so expensive, it's not even to an extent worth doing, it's unaffordable. My first year for car insurance was £3,000. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
£3,000, and the car was worth like 500 quid.
Wow.
So it's one of those things where when it comes down to the modifying of cars and the kind of affordability of actually driving those cars, is after about 3-4 years, it starts to become like, even the second year, it becomes a lot more cheaper. There's a few things you'll need to update. So on the V5s that we get, like the paperwork with the car, if you change the color, you need to let them know and say like, change the color to this, and potentially like the engine size and stuff.
You can swap the engines?
You can swap the engines, that's fine.
With no problem?
Pretty much no problem.
What?
It's fairly straightforward to do. So like, you won't need to, I mean, for example, with an MOT, if like I put a 1UZ in that, for example, I could get an MOT on it. I would then just need to list the engine size as the new engine size, and then let the insurance know it's a bigger engine. They'll be like, okay, how much horsepower has it got? 280 or 300 or whatever. And then that's kind of it.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. You don't need to do much.
Really?
So it's very easy. And in general, as long as if your car is clean,
yeah,
most of the time, most police officers know like, okay, I can see your tires are illegal, I can see you're very low, but I can see your car is safe. However, occasionally you will get a proper annoying policeman who, if you're driving around in a car which is strictly not legal, even if you declare the mods and they say, oh, you got stretched tires, I think it's £100 a corner. So if you've got 4 stretched tires, or if it's just the rears or something, it's either gonna be like 200 quid or like 400 quid. That's never happened to me, but if you're in like central London, it is different. And I've got a few friends out there with some pretty mad builds who are getting like fines like all the time.
It's totally different. It's like it's really difficult to swap engines. You cannot put engines from other brands to other cars. So
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, we are really fucked up here.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah, so I think that people that modify cars are truly heroes, are going through the laws, like finding the way, because finally it's a fight here in Spain. It's really a fight.
I've heard.
And can you explain us a little bit which are the modifications that you have in the Miata? Yeah,
so in terms of on the outside, it's the KBD kit. That is fantastic. The painting aspect of it is the tricky part. You need to use like an elastic paint or an elastic additive you add to that paint. My friend painted that up. He hated me. I think he almost punched me. But I think I supported him with pizza and beer, so we're good to go on that.
That's the best support.
Yeah, exactly. And he's done a fantastic job. We still need to cut and polish it. We didn't have time to do that, but it looks great. In terms of the wheels, custom wheels. Those are some 3-piece 15 by.
I listened that it's one of the top brands in Europe, right?
Yeah, man. That's sick. And so those are some 15 by 10. I think ET, maybe ET plus, maybe plus 5 or something like that. I can't fully remember. On the rears and the fronts are like ET10 0. We've fully replaced, because everything's rusty in the UK as well, including all the MX-5s. So we've replaced the full quarters. Each quarter is fully new parts and all the metalwork done. We've done that ourselves. Because of my size, because I'm a tall guy and I barely fit in there, is we had to move the wing mirrors about 3-4 inches forwards, so I could actually see them. So that's all a subtle mod, which you wouldn't notice, but has been done. What else have we done? We actually designed and made the indicators.
Oh, really?
So we 3D printed those, we designed those, 3D printed those, and they just look cool. And the reason for that is we put the kit on and it looked really cool, and then we put the indicators on. I thought, this looks rubbish, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So I thought, actually, I want to design something that sits far in.
Yeah,
so those are actually, we don't sell the actual things, but the STL files are on our website. Okay. So if someone wants to get those. Door handles, We do have some custom ones coming, which we've designed. Those are going to be on there for the show. Those are going to look really cool. Those are fully flush. But in terms of the underside of it, is the subframes are fully polybushed. Everything's been sandblasted, powder coated in silver, so it's nice and bright under there. It looks a lot nicer than if everything was black. The underside is fully wire wheeled, like stripped of the original under seal, and then that's all fully sealed up. I think that was with, there's a UK company who makes this product called War. It's insane, buzz weld, and it's just like you blast it on there. It's like Schultz or Schutz or whatever it's called. And that stuff's sweet. In terms of, we did have HSD coilovers on there, and then my mate was like, if you're gonna go anywhere, you are gonna destroy your entire underside, because I like to drive low.
And I am not going to paint it again.
I'm not gonna, yeah, my mate was gonna paint it again. So we went down the route of air-mixed air suspension, which is, we thought, let's give this a go.
It's an air cap or full suspension?
Full suspension, so it's a full strut with the double bellow airbag, and in terms of the setup, it's fully digital, so you can manage it, you can do it off your phone, and it just allows you to be able to sit like this, and it look really cool.
Yeah.
But you can drive and it'll be comfortable instead of like rattling the absolute living daylights out of you.
Okay.
And then seats are just some Recaro fishnets, which we sorted out a deal on those, which was nice. And the next step is the engine, but that's going to be probably later on in the year. We were going to do a rotary swap in that, but sadly there were some issues with the people that we were working with on that, so that didn't work. But
I have seen a Miata with an LS1.
Yeah.
In the US.
They've got pretty big engine bays. You can fit a lot in them.
It's crazy. I saw it and it's like, what?
Yeah.
This is insane. The engine like,
yeah.
I saw one of these ones. Okay, Isaac, thank you for your time. But as always, we are going to ask the same question. Give us a really positive and motivational message that you can, achieve these guys that are thinking at home, I don't know what to do. So you finally build your own stuff, you get your car, you are happy, you are doing a really cool event. So please tell the people that has to be really positive.
Yeah. The best, I guess, from experience, advice that I've had is figure out your why. Why do you do what you do? A lot of people go through life not thinking about what they really enjoy, why they do things, why they do this and that. And when you take a step back and you see your life and you ask yourself, why do I do this? Why am I doing this? And what do I want to do? And when you are able to answer those questions, you have a purpose, you have clarity on that purpose, and you are then able to achieve pretty much whatever you want to achieve. Everyone has the ability to achieve any goal that they set, and it's only from within that we limit ourselves. And also, don't listen to the haters. Haters are always going to hate, and people will only want to, when I say people, most people will only want to build you up to a level that they are at or just below them. The best way to go through life is to take things kind of for as they are, to always push yourself. If someone wants to be negative, you just say, cool, cheers, and leave it at that. Because you can smash things if you really set your mind to something. And it's something which we need more positivity out there. But ask yourself, why do you do what you do? Get that purpose, nail it, and you can achieve anything.
I'm totally with you. That's the point. Okay, Isaac, thank you so much for your time. You have this super kit about our business.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to come and to let us know your show, your life, your car, and your thoughts how we can improve the car community to the world, because we are a big family here. And well, that's one of the first episodes ever that we have seen, that we have recorded in English. So I hope that people, when they see it, like, what, these guys are crazy or what happened here, you know. So muchas gracias a todos por atendernos. Este ha sido un episodio diferente en el que pues seguramente habéis tenido que leer más de la cuenta, pero muchísimas gracias por estar aquí y bueno, seguiremos apostando por este tipo de contenido, que estamos muy contentos de ver cómo os gusta, lo apoyáis y esperamos a que lleguen los ansiosos jueves para, bueno, como dijo Leco en su día, coger las palomitas y disfrutar. Así que muchísimas gracias, chicos. Thank you so much.
Fantastic, thank you.